Have you recovered from Moscow?
Yeah. I've recovered and I'm seeing my body is okay. Ready for the competition.
What would the World Marathon Majors title mean to you?
What?
What would the World Marathon Majors title mean to you?
Actually, the Moscow Marathon. Actually, was a good.
There we go.
What would it mean to win New York City?
Actually, it will be good for me to win because I've been asking myself to come to New York, and if I win, it will be something special for me in life.
Do you expect to run side by side with Kiprotich for most of the race?
No, it's no, it is good to run with big names in the marathon and to look to be a nice competition.
Stephen, tell me this. What is more important, to win the New York City Marathon or to win the World Marathon Majors $500,000 bonus? Because they don't have to necessarily be the same thing.
You know, this is something I've not been, it is something which has not been in my mind. But when I come across Moscow, then I was told that, man, you stand a chance to win a jackpot. Then I say, wow, then this is going to be really something special in my mind, in my career. And if I win this race, actually it will be a special race for me.
So winning New York is more important? Which one is more important?
I said the races which earn me mileage is more important than New York, because if I had not won the championship and the Olympics, I would not be here. So I'm happy that the Olympics and the championships has earned me more big name to come to win. So if I win New York, then it will be something special.
So do you think this would be, or isn't your advantage that there are no pacemakers? Because races with pacemakers, I think it's not your strong point.
With running, sometimes it depends the way you wake up in the morning. I say maybe last time when I ran with the pacemakers, it was not a good day for me. And also championships is a race of its own. And I'm happy that I'm coming to New York and where there is no pacemakers, so I can do what I want to do.
Do you train for championships differently than for city marathons?
No, I train the same training for city marathons and championship. My program has not changed. Thank you.
With Geoffrey Mutai in the race, the defending champion, the course record holder, who does not factor into the World Marathon Majors title, if he or somebody else makes a very strong push and Mr. Kiprotich does not go, will your mind be on the person in front, or will your mind be on that man who has the chance to win the $500,000?
Thank you very much. Actually, for me, I always run my own race. I always run my own race. I don't run somebody's race. So if Kiprotich or Mutai is in front, it doesn't matter, provided I'm in a good shape, and I don't mind. Always I keep on running my own competition.
How would you compare your condition now with your condition before Moscow?
Now I see I've recovered better, and I see my body is okay. And if possible, maybe I can run my personal best here. That's what I'm looking for.
So Moscow and London were flat courses. There's some hills here. Have you run a marathon with hills before?
I think London and Moscow, the conditions were similar. And my body was responding in such competition. So for this time, I see my body is a bit fair than Olympics and Moscow.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I am saying, comparing this race and the previous competitions, this time I see I am fit, more fit than.
More fit.
Yes, that's what I want to say.
Who do you train with in what camp?
I do train with Emmanuel Mutai.
Emmanuel?
I train with Eliud Kipchoge. I train with Bernard Quaid
In which camp?
in Global Cam in Kenya.
Where?
Global Cam in Kenya.
The Globe is at Kaptagat?
Kaptagat, yes.
How long did you take for recovery? How long was your recovery period after Moscow?
After Moscow, I took 1 month's recovery. Then immediately I started training for this race.
But you've been planning this even before Moscow. You knew you were
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. Before Moscow, I was asking my manager if it's possible I cancel Moscow and then I go for New York City. Then later, the federation ended me in Moscow and they told me, no, you have to go for Moscow. Then I had to go to Moscow. Meanwhile, I was preparing for New York, of which I'm here now today.
So originally you didn't want to run Moscow.
Earlier on, I did not want to run, but when the national team saw there was no one capable for going to Moscow, then I was put in Moscow.
That the Federation chose you.
Yes.
So how far in advance did they tell you to run Moscow?
What?
How much time did you have to prepare for Moscow?
It was just little time.
I mean, it worked out pretty well for you. Now you're the world.
I prepared for 2 months.
Prepared just 2 months?
Yeah, yeah.
What did that do to? I mean, you'd already won the Olympics, but to be the world champion as well, was that a surprise or validation or? I mean, to.
No, actually, it was something I didn't expect to win Moscow, but when I was entered in the team, then I had to work down the clock with my coach and he gave me a lot of training, and I set my minds for the competition. So after winning Moscow, then again, because I had put in mind that I have to run New York, then I had to prepare, I had to recover quickly and start preparation.
You know, some people. Oh, go ahead.
Can you tell us about the typical training week of yours? You know, in the hard part when you were preparing.
For New York,
Yeah.
the hard part was doing long runs because as per now I did like 40 kilometers and some short long runs, 30K, 35. But the hardest part was 40 kilometers.
How many times at 40 kilometers?
40 kilometers I have done so far 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
And which speeds do you run this marathon? It's almost a marathon. This long training runs.
It depends on which program you're doing, and also, you know, I do long runs like 240 kilometers twice a month, and the speed varies. You know, it depends on the altitude and yeah.
Did you talk to Emmanuel Mutai about running New York since he has run here before?
No.
Did you talk to anybody?
No, I didn't talk to anybody, but we were training with him, Mutai, before he comes for Chicago. So we were training with him. Then in the last long run, I told him I'm going for New York. Then I wish him well to go. He told me he's going for Chicago, and I wish him well.
Did you see Chicago or read about Chicago?
I read about Chicago. I did not watch, and I saw him ran fantastic.
And does that give you good extra confidence that your training mates?
That one shows me that our training is not bad. Yeah, it gives me a lot of morale.
You said you trained with Eliud Kipchoge too?
Yeah, we trained with Eliud Kipchoge, and actually I watched him when he was running Berlin, and that's why I am saying my preparation for this race it has been going on well, and because of the results so far, my trainmates have posted, and I hope also to run well too.
You said you didn't expect to win Moscow. Do you expect to win here?
Yeah, you know, here earlier on I had planned to run New York, not to run Moscow. But when I was put in Moscow, then I had to work very, very hard because I had 2 trainmates whom we went together for Moscow, and I was expecting them to win because my aim was not to win Moscow. But in the competition, I decided that I can go for the win.
Who were the training mates you thought would win Moscow?
I was training with Jackson Kiprotich, who is here with me.
Jackson Kiprotich.
Jackson Kiprotich.
And who else?
And Kiprotich.
Kiplimo. And you thought they were on the Kenyan team?
Yeah, no. It's a Ugandan team. Then the other side of Kenyan team, we were training together, but 1 month the competition, they went to train on their own.
People. Where did you? Now, some people like Hendrik Ramala. You know the name Hendrik Ramala. He was like the 2004 champion, second place to Turgot here in 2005. He used to always go to the South African team for the World Championships and drop out at 30K, and then come to New York City. There's the federation made him go to the championship. He knew he wasn't going to finish because he wanted to save himself for New York. Did you have any plan as you were running the World Championships in Moscow until you started being, oh, I'm on good form today? Did you ever think in terms of, well, I just want to run the whole race?
No, I didn't think of it.
You never thought of that?
No.
Where did you take the lead in Moscow?
Actually, when I reached 27 kilometers, I tried to push.
7K to get 35K?
No, 27 kilometers.
27?
I tried to push, and I found that that's when I realized that if I can go, no one can get me. So I decided to keep with the pack.
When you won in London, you were the first Ugandan to win since 1972.
Yeah.
How did life change when you returned? How were things different for you?
Actually, let me tell you that since keep on, immediately my life changes. And okay, my status changes, but my friends did not change. After London, when I returned back to Kampala, so many people came to the airport. They received me. People were dancing. People were very happy. And actually, I became known when.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so many people wanted to know about me, of which I'm happy that now in the country, so many people knows about running.
Will more Ugandans come through because of you?
Yeah, so many. Even now, so many, even like phone calls. I used to receive few phone calls, but after London, so many phone calls. I can receive like 100 times a day.
It's almost too much.
Yeah, too much.
Too much.
And also, sitting with the president is something not easy. But that time I had breakfast with His Excellency. So,
Are you married with children?
yeah.
How is your son's health? Your son's not been well.
Yeah, it is the daughter. She's now okay.
What was she ill?
She had some, we live in a high altitude, so she had some pneumonia, and now she's okay.
When was that?
When I was in Moscow, he was admitted for 10 days in the hospital.
She was in the hospital for?
What?
She said she was in the hospital?
Yeah, she was in the hospital before I go to Moscow.
Oh, 10 days in the hospital
10 days.
before. Okay. How serious was it?
The problem was the doctors told me that she had some pneumonia. Yeah.
Does that mean you have to move to a lower altitude for her, or?
Yeah, but now I had to move her to low altitude. So that's where she is now. She is in Kampala.
She has moved from, but you have to train at high altitude.
Yeah, I have to train in high altitude, so I had to move up and down, checking on my daughter, going for the training. That's why.
How far is Kampala from Iten? What's the journey?
It's about 400 kilometers.
Did you fly between? Or
No, I go by car.
drive?
It's 400 kilometers?
Yeah, about 400 kilometers.
Kampala, which is where?
Uganda. So capital.
Right.
And he's training.
And that's where your daughter and wife live now?
Yes.
So you have to, and how often do you drive back and forth?
I used to drive for a long time,
No, but how many days do you,
No, it's only 1 day. Some hours, like 6 hours.
no, but how often?
Twice a month.
Twice a month?
Yeah. And sometimes when there's some emergencies, then I have to go.
Yep, end of emergency. So just one daughter?
No, I have 3.
You have one daughter,
I
one
have
son?
a daughter, I have a son, and then a daughter.
2 daughters, 1 son.
Yeah.
How old?
6 years, 3 years, and 4 months.
And which one's in 4 months?
He's a daughter.
4 months is the daughter.
Yeah.
She
And,
called Moscow.
What?
and what's the 3-year-old
3-year-old is a boy.
son?
Yes.
And the other daughter.
Yeah, daughter.
And the new daughter is named Moscow? No, sometimes that happens. They won't name them after. Now you say you're an Eldred or E10?
I mean, no, I do operate
Well,
in both
Kapsabet is
sides,
outside
Kaptaga,
Eldoret.
Iten, and Eldoret.
Outside Eldred.
Yeah, that's my place of training.
Right.
How did you first get in the Kenyan groups?
I first get to Kenyan group. It was 2007 when I was training in Uganda, and I found that there are no good facilities in Uganda, so I had to shift my training to the better place. That's when I came to Iten after World Cross Country.
Did you just go on your own, or you had contacts there? Or?
No, I had a friend. You know, when I ran in Mombasa 2007, then I make a friendship there, and I got a friend. So he told me that you can come to Iten. So when I go to Iten, I spent there 4 months. Then I was able to run a good time, which earned me to go for World Championship in Osaka. You know? It's a long story.
Olympic and world champion, is the atmosphere still welcoming and supportive, or is there some rivalry and tension around training sometimes? Because the Kenyans would love to have done what you've done.
Are they friends of yours, or are they now rivals because you are the Olympic and world champion?
And not Kenyan.
We are friends.
Are you Kalenjin?
Yeah, I'm a Kalenjin.
And what sub-tribe?
Sabin.
Pardon me?
Sabin.
Sabi?
Yeah. No, Sabin with Saping.
I-N-G?
I-N-Y, yeah.
I-N-Y?
I know in Kenya, the New York City Marathon is very famous. Is it famous in Uganda too, or are they just now learning all these things?
Yeah, now in Uganda, people are interested in watching competitions. Like when I was in Moscow, they were announcing over the TV and the radio stations. We have today a marathon, and everybody were in that day on Sunday. Everybody was in the TV. People they tuned on the radios to
Everyone listening?
to listen.
How special is that to you that now, I mean, you've now made this country interested in something that before they probably did not really care about?
Yeah, earlier on I'd say that before I was not known, and later now I'm a known. Being unknown and to be known is something not easy.
Are there two sides to being a hero? The good side and maybe the not so good side? There's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of attention. It's hard to keep training on your own if everyone was always...
As for now, after becoming a hero, I told you so many people, so many friends, so many people wants to be in touch with you. But all the time I always keep on doing my training.
Focus.
I keep on focus.
Do you think in even just a few years we're going to start seeing a lot more successful Ugandan runners? It's not going to be you. We're going to see a lot of them, like the Kenyans, the Ethiopians. There's going to be several guys in every race.
I've seen now. Even the young people, they are starting training seriously. They wanted to become a champion. So there's a lot of courage. I've brought a lot of changes to the people of Uganda.
Do you know the story of Samuel Wanjiru, who was your predecessor as Olympic champion, and he died a couple of years ago, and pressure and fame and things made life quite difficult for him?
I didn't have his story, but little bit what I can say that sometimes I watch him running Olympics in London. I think sometimes he did not finish London. I was waiting, but I don't have too much story about him.
Can you see how it happened, how his life changed, not always for the better because of the fame that he had and the money that he had?
Before Wanjiru won the Olympics, I did not know about him, and so when he won Olympics, that's when I knew about him, and I did not know how much money he has. It was nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with this.
New York, like the Olympics, like the World Championships, it's a championship-style race, no pace setter. You seem to like that kind of race. Why do you think you've been successful in that sort of race?
You know, it will be something, okay? It will be a good place, you know. If you see the championships and the Olympics, as you have said that there is no pacemakers. And for me, I see my body can respond to such competitions. Because if you see my first marathon, I ran in Hartikoos, and
Where's your first one?
I ran in Holland, Netherlands. And the marathon was the people around there, they were telling me this race has been a tough race and no one has ever run under 2:07, and I did it. So if I see that race, I can compare with New York. I think it is a tough course.
Do you feel like now, in this day we live in, that, 207, I can't go home with a 207. I mean, we live in a 203 world, and your best is still 207. It's like it's time. It's time for me not to be a 207 man anymore.
No, so many people ask me whenever I watch the big competitions like Berlin, like Rotterdam, people have been running good times like Chicago. Then someone told me that when I start fearing, I say no, I can't run 203. But so many people told me that if you can win Olympics, 207 is not your personal best. Maybe you can run a 205.
Right.
So actually, I was asking myself, maybe next year I can start preparing to run a 204, 203.
How about your did you run many 10,000s or do track running?
Yeah, I did some track run, but I was not all that good.
Not serious?
Yeah, I remember one time I ran a 27:58.
27:50?
58.
Is that your best?
Yeah, that was my best.
But,